you. I'm going to be going over a couple bulk loading. I'm going to add a student manually, and I'm going to update a user just to show you guys a little bit more so you can kind of see the steps. And here you're going to see, as a data manager, once you log into the KReady system, you're going to the administration at the top in the blue bar. We're going to go down to the bulk loader. Go to your templates tab. Here's where you will see all of your templates that you will need to upload. So you want to select the drop down. You have student, teacher, enrollments, unenrollments, and local admins. So let's first go ahead and select student. And what you see here at the bottom is an all fields template and a required fields template. So the difference is the all fields is basically what it says, all fields. You will have the race, the gender, the disability code, the English and language learner. You will have all those fields that you can fill in for each of the students. The required fields is strictly just for what is needed to upload the student into the KReady system. So the first and last name, the date of birth, and the state student ID. So for time purposes, I went ahead and did the student file. You guys can see that okay. And as we stated earlier, the district ID, the school ID, and a date of birth all need to be formatted correctly before you can upload this file into the KReady system. So this has been done. I'm just going to go ahead and I minimize it just because once you close it and try to reopen a CSV, it does lose its formatting. So I always just try to minimize it, and just in case I have a mistake, I can go back and correct that without having to reformat. Going to go to upload file, select the drop down to students, and select my file. I save it on my desktop because it's actually easy to find and then delete them later if I don't need them. I find that student file and select upload. And as you can see, it does state that it's in processing status. The very last one you do is going to be right at the top. If you refresh or hit F5, you will then see you have 4 additions, and this came back complete. So my next file I'm going to upload is the teacher file. And the same thing with the teacher and the student. If you select the teacher template, you have an all fields and a required fields. So I went ahead and did a teacher file, and district and school ID is formatted. So that is now saved. I'm just going to minimize that. Go back to upload file. Select your drop down to teachers and select your file. All right, then go ahead and upload from there. And refresh. And you're going to see that there's now a new addition to the teacher. So now, next one we're going to go do is the enrollment file. And the enrollment file is very important because the enrollment file is what ties the student to the teacher. If you don't have that enrollment file, those teachers will not see their students in their rosters when they sign in. Again, we have an all fields and a required. I went ahead and did a required fields, have everything formatted. Just going to save and minimize that again. Go back to your upload file. And okay, so now we have 3 different options here. Right underneath enrollments, you have a box that says unenrolled by student. So if you check this box, you have by student and you have by district. So let me explain a little bit more on that. When you select the box of by student, what this does is you upload 5 students and you want to make sure that their enrollments are clean and they're not attached to any other teachers. You want to do it with the students. If you do it by district, now this will again make it a clean upload, and so it will remove any previous teacher-student association. So this is kind of a better ideal. It's an ideal tool for bigger districts that have a lot of students, and you just want to make sure that these students are just not tied. So, and then of course you have your main option of just doing your enrollment without checking any box. And this just uploads your file like a normal enrollment file. Select your file and then select upload. I'm going to refresh the screen and look, okay, we've got an error. I'm glad this happened because I wanted to show you what you need to do when you see this error. You want to come over here and download validation errors. So we want to see, because it should be 4 students and it's only got 3. Once this uploads, here it is. So you see the message on the end here. It says user is not eligible to be assigned students in this district. Everything seems fine, but you can see this teacher ID is different than what it should be. So that is the error that we found. So we're going to go back to that enrollment file and we are going to correct that, resave it, just save it again. We don't have to reformat because we had it open. So we just minimize it from here. Let's go back to uploading this file again. And once that goes, select upload, and now it is in processing. So now, there we go. We have the 1 addition and 3 updates. So now all 4 of those students have uploaded. And just a quick side note here, I wanted to show you this enrollment file. You can see I've got a kindergarten readiness students and I have the ELA students. So you can add students to both assessments on one student template. It's okay. If you want to do separate and one preschool, you know, the ELA and one the KReady, that's fine too. But let's just say you have 4 you wanted to upload real quick, okay? Now the last file we're going to do is the local administrators. And again, you have a required fields and a all fields template. So I went ahead and did a local admin. And just a reminder for local admins, this would be, let's say your district has 5 elementary buildings and you want all of those principals to be able to pull reports for those kindergarten classes. Add that principal as an admin. That way they can also pull these reports and kind of see and keep the teachers and make sure things are getting entered for those students before the deadline. We're going to go back and we're going to upload local administrators and select your file and select upload. All right. Now I want to check. I want to double check and make sure that this person, the one that I just uploaded, has that role. So going into my users, I do go ahead and pull up the one that I just did. And you're going to see now has teacher and admin. Again, any admin has to be put in as a teacher first, and then you can update their role. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump into updating a user manually. So like Ed stated earlier, if there is a name change, if there is an email change, anything that you want to for that user, you need to do it manually first. And then you can re-upload a teacher bulk file with the corrections. You do it vice versa and say do it through the bulk loader first, it's going to create a new account for that person. So once you go into your users and you find that teacher's name, okay, so this was the one I just uploaded and I named first name demo, last name teacher. I'm actually going to change it to teacher 2. Just going to do that. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and change that email as well to demo teacher 2 and just hit save. You're going to see up at the top here, a countdown. So if I were then to go in back to my bulk loader, I could upload that teacher file again with the changes that I made to that teacher, the email or the first or last name. All right. And that is updating a user. And like I said, manually, sometimes just quick to do it like that and then do the bulk load. Now, lastly, I'm going to do is we're going to add a student manually. On the left-hand side, go to your organizations, select view districts, select view locations. Now we're going to go ahead and select view students next to that location. And here you're going to see a green button that says add student. Select that, and now a new template or new pop-up comes up. So we want to go ahead and type in their state student ID. All right, and first name. And in case you haven't noticed, my theme today was my pets. So I've added fun names of my pets in the past and things. So we're going to do Spot the dog. Put his gender. And then you have the option of race. And so we're going to go ahead. Actually, Spot the dog is Husky. So we're going to just put him as Alaska Native. Type in the date of birth. So make sure this is the same thing, 0810, and then type in that whole year, 2014, or 2014, sorry. You then have the option of adding the disability code. And then here you're going to see English and language learner, special education, and the low social economics. So here you can type yes or select yes or no. Once that's done, go ahead and click Save and Open. All right, now here's the dog. I'm sorry, here's the dog. Here's the details for the student and all of that you just entered for them. So all of that is good. We're going to go ahead and next tab over in data collection assignments. And again, like I stated, when a teacher cannot see a student, it's because of the data collection is not attached. That's what you do with the enrollment file, and that's what you do manually if you add the student manually. Click Assign Data Collection, and you're going to click the Kindergarten Readiness Assessment, the revised, and you're going to go ahead and click Assign. Now you're going to see data collections assigned here, and it's going to count down. The enrollments is where you assign your teacher. So let's go ahead and go back over here to Assign Teacher. And I'm going to go ahead and assign to myself here. Click Assign. Hit Finished. And you're going to see that the teacher countdown is going to be assigned in 5 seconds there. And as a good rule, when I add students manually, I always want to double check to make sure that data collection's stuck. And there you will see that the data collection is assigned. And after that, then that student will be able to be seen by that teacher when they open their rosters for the Kindergarten Readiness Assessment.